Hello, my name is Matt Edwards, the Street Writer, and welcome to the Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition Bloody Palace Co-op stream. I am joined by the award-winning Itsuno and Matt Walker over at Capcom Japan in Osaka. How's it going, guys?
Hello, I'm Matt Walker, and I'm with the award-winning director,
Hi.
Hideaki Itsuno.
The MC is back.
Yes, baby! It really is.
It's not only back,
5.
it's going back as well, because we're about to play some free.
That's right. そうですよね。バックだけじゃなくて、これからバックに行くんですよね。デビルメイクライ3に行きますのでね。
DMC3 is back.
Yeah, baby! Matt, so what do you got planned for us today, baby?
Well, you've kindly furnished us with the Switch version of Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, and as you announced yesterday via your video, we are going to be playing some Bloody Palace Co-op. A feature that definitely wasn't in the original or the Special Edition back in the day, so something that you guys have added to the game.
That's right. It's a new feature for DMC3 SE here on Switch. We've added these 3 different things, right? We've added the ability to switch styles on the fly, which is a first for DMC3 SE, even though obviously in DMC4 and DMC5, you've been able to do that, is Dante. And then we've also added the ability to switch between all of the weapons on the fly. You guys are already aware that in DMC3 and DMC3 SE, you were able to switch between 2 melee weapons and 2 ranged weapons at any given time. But now we've said, all right, here are 2 radial dials, go for all the weapons in this freestyle mode. And then finally, as you've indicated, the ability to play Bloody Palace co-op with Virgil and Dante. Now, Matt, are you going to be playing, or do we have some special guests to be playing the games?
Well, I did think about having a go at this, but I haven't actually played Devil May Cry 3 since it came out back in 2004, 2005, or what it is. So it's been a long time since I have played this game, but thankfully, we did have 2 influencers, YouTubers, and streamers who were happy to come and show us some of their Devil May Cry 3 skills. I asked them if they could get all the way through Bloody Palace, and they literally said that was about as difficult as doing half a push-up. About as difficult as doing half a push-up, so they are extremely confident. Legend also has it, they've also secretly managed to get to the 10,000 floor, which doesn't even exist, and played against Virgil Form 4, which also doesn't exist, so really impressive stuff.
I believe if it can happen, these guys can do it.
If anybody can do it.
Our goal tonight, then, is to actually have these guys go all the way through Bloody Palace, then.
Yep. And I'm very confident they can do it.
Oh.
Nice.
So let us introduce you to...
The first time that I have seen the Bloody Palace, all of Bloody Palace in co-op. So this is going to be cool. It's going to be a world first. You know that?
100% could be a world force. So we've got over on the player desk, we have Devil Never Cry and Mills. How's it going, guys?
Hi, guys. I'm Mills. You know who I am. I don't need to introduce myself. You know who I am. You can follow me at that Twitter. You can catch me on YouTube, Mills DMC. You can catch me on Twitch, Mills DMC. Shout out to all the homies, all the guard flyers. Shout outs to Zanzibar Land. Serpentium, shout out to you. And happy Valentine's Day, Ty. Love you, baby. Let's get it.
Nice.
Alright, what is up, everybody? It's me, Devil Never Cry, of course. You can follow me at Twitter, which is linked on the page there. And yeah, you can find me at Devil Never Cry over on YouTube. Yeah, as Mills kindly said here, happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Awesome stuff. Okay, so let's get to the gameplay screen now as we head into Bloody Palace Co-op.
All right.
Here it is. So solo is not what we're going to be doing. I'm going to go right on the D-pad, and there you go, Bloody Palace.
Oh, no, wrong button. Yep. There we go. Yep.
Stars we mean to go on.
Also, the arrogance was a joke. Don't take that too seriously. Come on.
All right, okay. So the way this works is you actually have to have 2 different saves. So you've got the Virgil save, and then you've also got the Dante save. So we've both got the Virgil save ready to go. So if we go to the next screen, then we are good to start.
Let's get it.
Alright, here we go.
So Matt, can you tell how many floors are in this version of Bloody Palace?
I asked Itsuno-san, I thought he could do it, and he said, "Oh my God, I forgot."
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. So yeah, you figure, あれItsuno-sanはこの作品に手がけたのはいつの人か何年もう15年前ですね。15 years you figure doesn't make that.
Yeah. Was it 2005? Was that the year this came out? Back in the day?
So maybe SE came out in 2006 or so.
Okay.
So yeah, you figure it's been almost 15 years since
Blimey.
he worked on this title.
There's a lot of people that still regard this as their favorite Devil May Cry as well.
Apparently the game's too long.
Is it? Oh.
いやでもね、これ本当にね、シリーズの定義した作品。
これが面白くなかったら僕会社辞めようと思って
そうですよね。You know, it's fun because Devil May Cry 3, you know, it's a game that it really defined the Devil May Cry series in a lot of ways. And Isuno-san says, well, yeah, because me and it was actually him and actually a couple different other dev members, they decided that if this wasn't an awesome game, they were going to quit. They were going to stop developing it.
Okay. So this is like the last chance to kind of like make, you know, the series.
They really, I mean, well, for them, they just that's almost pretty well.
2を本気出してないわけじゃない
出してないわけじゃない。
途中からあったからここから関わったんで
Richard, if you can hear me, can you lower the game volume a little bit, please?
And so, you actually, a lot of you guys probably heard this story, but so you guys are aware that Devil May Cry 2, after Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry 1 was fantastic.
Oh, amazing game.
A pretty young team was put on making Devil May Cry, and so they kind of had a tight schedule. This is when the game out by. It got to a certain part of development, and the people up top said, "All right, you know what? We need to bring some help into this." So they brought in Itsuno-san partway through to kind of help finish up the game. And they did what they could to make the best game they could, but they felt like they could do better. And so Itsuno-san said, "All right, you know what? I want to make a Devil May Cry 3, and I want you guys to let me do this on my own terms. But I'm going to try to make the best game I possibly can."
Okay.
And so they had a go for broke attitude that this is what we're going to do. And if it wasn't a good game because they were putting their all into it, then they were going to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm very glad that you decided to go down that route because obviously we've got one of the not only one of the best PS2 games ever made, but also one of the greatest games ever made as well.
PS2 の中でもそうですけど、やっぱり一般的に本当にベストゲームの数作品の中でもさ、There's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. You guys did a fantastic job. And so for me, it was really awesome to be able to go, all right, you know what? We get a chance to work on DMC3, put it out on Switch, and we actually had an opportunity to add a little bit to it. So we were really excited to be able to do that. And actually be able to co-op with Bloody Palace and be able to kind of add a little change in the gameplay and add free stuff.
That's really cool. So obviously Itsuno-san has worked at Capcom for a very long time, like even way before like Devil May Cry series first started being developed. So can you ask Itsuno like what did he think of like Devil May Cry, the first game, when he first saw it in development?
ちなみにね、Itsuno-さんは昔からね、名作ばっかり作ってるんですけど、当時デビル・メイクライ1を作ってる間に、Itsuno-さんは違う作品作ってましたけど、その間デビル・メイクライ1を見てどう思ったんですか？
すごくマニアックな世界観、僕すっげえ好きで発表した時のビデオがあるんだけど、それはすっげえ好きすぎて、今もまだ VHS のデッキ持ってるんですすんげえかっこよかったから。でもマニアックな世界観すぎてそんなに売れないだろうなと思った。
なるほどね。
めちゃくちゃかっこよかったけど、マニアックだからゲームも世界観も。だからすげえ売れた時にすげえって思ったし、このストーリー性とアクションがすごく自由で、これできんだったら何でもできんじゃんって思った。
面白いですね。Well, You figure, yeah, exactly. Itsuno-san was busy looking out some other stuff at the time, but
Yeah.
he remembers very vividly when the game was being made and then when it was announced. And he was such a big fan when it was announced that he still got a VHS tape with a video that has that initial announce video. on it.
Wow.
And he remembers thinking that at the time, when he first saw the announcement, he thought, "I love this. I think this is so cool." There's so much freedom to not only the style and the setting, but the gameplay itself, and he loved that. But he felt because it was so intense, and it was really good for the hardcore.
Yeah.
He didn't think it was going to sell actually.
Oh,
So,
really? Okay.
when he saw it sell, he was like, "Okay, I get it now. You know what? There's actually a lot we can do in the game industry, knowing that people are definitely down to play this kind of stuff."
Okay, and then can you ask Itsuno-san, what was it like working for Capcom in the mid-2000s, and how does this era compared? How does that era compare to the modern day Capcom?
そういう人は、磯野さんはカプコンでの2000年代の半ば、当時のカプコンと今のカプコンを見て、どう比較するんですか？どう思う？
実はね、デビルメイクライ3を作ったタイミングで大きくカプコンが変わった。
ちょうどそのタイミングですね。
デビルメイクライ3を作り始めたタイミングで、カプコンの中で、前まではね、セクションごと違うフロアだった。で、デビルメイクライ3を作ったタイミングから、チームごとのフロアになった。
なるほど。
ゲームの作り方が大きく変わったタイミングではあるかな。
それはある程度でも磯野さんの影響。
いいゲームを作るためにはそういう形が必要だっていう今のアジャイルのゲームの作りの一番最初のやったチームがデビルメイクライ3のチームなんですよ。
一応磯野さんがそうするべきだなと思って、
うちのチームのねメインプログラマーがこれからのゲームだったらそうするべきだ。
Good job, guys.
なるほどね。You know, that's a really great question. So what happens is, it was right around the time where they started making Devil May Cry 3 that a lot changed within the company in terms of how they developed games. So, up until that point, typically what happened was you had all of the different sections on different floors of this R&D building. So you had the sound team on one floor, you had all the programmers on one floor, you had all the designers on one floor. And Itsuno-san and his team, very specifically the lead programmer of Devil May Cry 3, went, "Look, we're going to need what eventually became a Scrum-like and Agile-like type of game development. We're going to need a type of game development. All the sections are together, working in unison, so that there's
you can just like feedback to each other like far better that way, couldn't you? Yeah.
Exactly. So, and Devil May Cry 3 was the first title where they really used that.
Okay.
And now that's just commonplace. It's just the way it works here. You know, we have.
So obviously for Devil May Cry 5, that's how for that game, you were all like on the same floor in the same room together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, awesome. So a question for both of you this time. What's your favorite Dante fighting style in Devil May Cry 3 and why?
じゃあデビル3で一番好きなスタイルは何ですか？
そりゃソードマスター。
それはそうか。なるほどね。
宇宙コンボがしたいっていう理由でソードマスターを作った。
なるほどね。そういうためですね。なるほどね。For Itsuno-san, he says it's all about Swordmaster. It's definitely Swordmaster. He made Swordmaster with the idea that with Swordmaster, we can do air combos.
Aerial raves. Aerial raves. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. So, I thought that was interesting. For me, I'm a trickster guy. I like as many options as possible to evade.
Okay.
So being able to evade and also get those iframes is a lifesaver.
Yeah, I definitely, the first time I played through Devil May Cry 3, Trickster was the one I used just because I needed that extra invincibility to to survive some of those boss fights. Yeah, I just saw them fighting the Beowulf boss, and I struggled really hard against that back in the day. Rich, can you turn the Itsuno Mant's audio up a little bit, please?
Can you guys hear me? Is that okay?
Yeah, just like just to make sure everyone can hear what you're both saying loud and clear.
ちなみにトリクスターをデフォルト、一番最初に使うスタイルにしたくない。
これがね、トリックスターはデビルメイクライ2スタイルで、ロイヤルガードはストリートファイター3スタイルで、ソードマスターはX メンスタイル。
なるほどね、確かに。いや、本当にそうですね。エリオンでそうだ。
で、ダンテスタイル。
ダンテスタイルね。
だから、2好きだった、特にヨーロッパは2が結構売れた地域なので、2がデフォルトスタイル。
なるほどね、面白いですね。I'd ask Itsuno-san, is there a reason that you guys decided to make Trickster the first style that you use in the game, the one that you start off with? And he said, well, Trickster style is essentially Devil May Cry 2 style. You think about it, basically the action button, that's what the action button serves as in Devil May Cry 2, right?
Yes.
And next up you have then Royal Guard. Royal Guard is essentially Street Fighter 3 style.
Yeah, parries. Evo moment 37 with Daigo, 100%.
Exactly. And then you have Swordmaster style. That's basically Marvel versus Capcom style with the aerial raves.
Raves.
And then so finally then you figure then Gunslinger is Dante style. That's all about Dante.
Yeah, like him shooting the motorbike at the start of the first game. Just like rapid fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. 確かにね。自分の一番最初のカットシーンもね、そうやってね。Gunslinger的なもんですよね。That's good. That's cool. That's really cool.
I love how because obviously before Devil May Cry was developed, Capcom obviously had a big history of in fighting games, and you can see how that kind of idea around advanced mechanics sort of came into games like Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 3.
Oh, totally. Yeah, だから本当にね、デビル1、デビル3まではカップのことね、すごいかっこいいなって言いましたけど、やっぱりデビル1もそうですけど、特にデビル3から初めてね、アクションゲームに格闘の DNA を投入した。
ただ僕はそれやりたくて作ったんで。
ですよね。
格闘ゲームで作ってきたノウハウを全部入れたんです。
Yeah, well, and especially you figure Itsuno-san himself, he worked on all these fighting games.
100%. Yep.
And so it was for Devil May Cry 3, he said, all right, here's my chance. I want to actually take an action game and utilize all that knowledge and put that in there.
It's almost kind of like a single-player fighting game with a really cool story.
シングルプレイの格闘技にストーリーをしっかりと導入した。
I say single player, but now with co-op as well.
シングルプレイ的なね、今回はね、共用プレイも入るんですよね。Yeah, exactly.
これ3の時に、3でね、ドッペルゲンガーで隠してこれできたんだけど、このモード入ってよかったですね。
Yeah, Itsuno-san says, yeah, and as Matt mentioned earlier, there were already Easter eggs in the game where you could pick up a second controller and with Doppelganger play 2 players. But yeah, this is great. This is really cool. And now you can basically break off the 2 controllers to the Switch, and at any time you're able to share the Joy-Con with somebody and play Devil May Cry 3 co-op.
No.
Oh, the chessboard! I completely forgot about this. All these memories are coming back. Such a cool concept for a fight.
割とかっこいいコンセプトですね、このチェスの。
ですね。これ作るときにめちゃめちゃチェスのルール勉強。
そうなんですね。それで敵。
そうですよ。全部チェスのコマの動きと同じ動きする。
なるほどね。Well, you guys could probably tell that all these enemies here, they were very specifically designed based on chess. So, these those guys, they studied chess a lot to really understand how these enemies should move on the chessboard.
Okay. So next question: if all the bosses in Devil May Cry 3, aside from Virgil and Arkham, had a big Royal Rumble, who would win and why?
バージルとアーカムを除いて、もしね、レベル3のボスみんなでやって大喧嘩したら誰が勝つかな。Beowulf, there you go.
He is the big dude, isn't he? Yeah. I swear Beowulf's the one that I struggled with the most back in the day. Like, I had to restart that fight so many times because I just got destroyed.
対戦がファイトは何回も最初からやり直す必要があって。
ね、あれは光の羽の矢を出すときに勇気を出して近づくっていうのがポイントだ。
Well, the way you design that, there's really the idea that you're gonna have to be really brave when those light arrows.
Yeah.
Never はどうですか？俺ネバーの時で結構苦労するんですよ、いつも。
You changed your mind? You think it's going to be Nevin instead?
Well, I was actually curious. So since you talked about the design philosophy, I tend to go in that direction. I love to find out about what the design philosophy is and stuff. So I was curious about Nevin because I tend to have a lot of trouble with Nevin, and so I wanted to ask him what the kind of their thinking was behind Nevin.
Yes.
覚えてます。今は結局反撃のタイミングを覚えるっていうのが一番大事なね、ところなんですよね。あとは攻撃を避けるだけです。そうですね。反撃だからそのね、グリゼンの座ってる時の力。
Nice roll guard.
Because it's kind of like if we're talking about, it's kind of like the Urizen battle or Urizen scene, where it's all about kind of learning the timing of when she's going to counterattack.
Yeah, because she can electrify the whole ground at one point as well. I was used to catch me out.
Exactly. 確かに俺もやっぱり自分に僕が走る。行くからでしょうね。いや、あれ面白いですよね。確かに。They had a lot of fun. Right. これなんかそういう開発になって。
One thing I also noticed about Devil May Cry 3 compared to the other ones, it also has a bit more of a, well, certainly compared to like 1 or 2, it has more blood and gore. Was that kind of like a conscious design decision, like compared to the first two games, to add more kind of the red stuff into the third game?
それはなんかどういうだったの？
やっぱりね、僕アーケード組で作ってるんですけどね、気持ちよさっていうのを出すためにはヒットエフェクトっていうのを多めに出す。今日の同じ期にモンスターハンターも作ってるんで、モンスターハンターも同じように血しぶきが多いと思うんだけど、で一応限界まで作って、確かね、発売前にレーティング審査にかかって、だいぶ少なく小さくします。
なるほどね。That's a really interesting question. What happens is, you figure these guys, their DNA was in, and their experience was in fighting.
Yeah.
So, for them, it was really important that every time you have a hit, it really resonates, it's really obvious, it communicates to the player that, okay, you had a successful hit.
Yeah.
So, the blood then, like for instance, when the blood squirts from the enemies, the intent there is really to be the indicator, the visual indicator that, okay, you had a successful hit.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because if you look back, about that time, that's when they were making Monster Hunter as well. And Monster Hunter as well, Fujioka-san and those guys, they did the same thing. When you hit the monsters, blood squirts out, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, kind of get more of that feedback. Yeah.
Exactly, it's about feedback. Yeah.
あとね、割と多分初めてだと思うのは 3D のゲームで攻撃方向の方向にちゃんとね、血しぶきとか砂のエフェクトが出るっていうのは多分このゲームで初めてすごくこだわって作った。
The other thing was they really intentionally wanted to. When you hit an enemy, you knew like where you hit the enemy because this was 3D action. You figure at this point 3D action was just kind of starting to find its footing and stuff.
Yes.
So one of the things then was like communicating with the player that here's the direction then. The blood would squirt out the direction that you hit the enemy from, so you would know kind of where you made contact with the enemy. And it's interesting because in the end, what happened was right before the game came out. Basically, the ratings boards said, "Look, this is too violent," and so they actually toned down the amount of blood that they had.
So somewhere in the Capcom archives in like Osaka, there's like an original version of it with like way more like blood and gore in it compared to the one that was released eventually. Is that what you're saying?
もしかするとレーティング期間に指摘をもらった前にまあチーフがすごい大きいバージョンはどっかにもしかすると存在してるかもしれない。
そうですね。そうですね。あるかもしれないですね。
Yeah, somewhere.
そういうディスクが多分どっかにある。
There might be a disc, probably in somebody's desk.
I need to go into the Capcom vault the next time I'm in Japan.
Or you just have to start looking through random desks, especially if you see old people like sitting around. Chances are they have it.
They're the best ones to ask. The people that have definitely been at Capcom the longest, they'll know. They have the secrets.
Look through your stuff. You might find something. You might find a treasure somewhere. 確かにオールドタイマーのスケールの中に見たら聞いてね、何が出てくるか。
あ、そうですね。すごいですよ、そら。すごいロモがいっぱい出てきますよ。
Oh man.
Okay,
There's so much stuff you can find.
so today, like combo masters and speedrunners use advanced techniques like block cancels, reversals, and stinger rush to do flashy things in Devil May Cry 3. When the game was being developed, did Ixuno-san expect players to take advantage of these mechanics to such a sophisticated degree like we're seeing with Mills and Devil May Cry right now?
まあもしかするとこの2つのプレーを見たらね、使ってると思うんですけど、キャンプ割とすっごい細かいね、複雑なね、技を使ってるんですけど、やっぱ結局ね、そういうプレーまで至るとはするよ。
これのアクション部分を担当したやつがめちゃくちゃアクションゲームマニアで、そのデビル4も5もずっとメインプレイヤー担当してるんですけど、5だと V を担当してるやつがそこの細かいキャンパスのタイミング設定してるんですけど、本当に対戦格闘の時の一番細かいやつを同じように作ってるんで、ここまで行くと思ってたいうよりかは、ここまで行かなきゃダメなゲームだと思って。
You know, it's an interesting question. Really, the answer is he thought that this has to be that kind of game.
Yeah.
When he was making the game, and so what happened was the guy that was the game designer for all the player movements and stuff. He also did all the player movements on DMC4 and DMC5.
Yeah.
He very specifically handled V on DMC5. Is the kind of guy that is really particular about all those cancels, all about framing stuff. Basically, you know, because he has a fighting game background.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff that he paid a lot of attention to. So yeah, it was by design that they would put all this stuff in there, and players would really be able to go deep like this again.
Okay. So the person you're talking about, did they work on the fighting game mechanics before they started working on Devil May Cry? So did they work on like Street Fighter or like X-Men versus Street Fighter or anything like that? Like how long have they been at the company?
そうですね。プログラマーもずっと格闘ゲームを作ってたスタッフ、X メンのね、スタッフだし、プランナーは当然格闘ゲームばかり作ってたスタッフで、そうですね。
Oh yeah, man. I mean, and not only him though. I mean, the programmers too. These guys they all worked on all the fighting games. You know, done the X-Men series. You know, they worked on Capcom vs. SNK.
Yep.
With Isshin-san for instance. Yeah.
JoJo とかね。
And JoJo, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh yeah, like on the CPS3.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
One of the along with what is it, Warzard and Street Fighter 3. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go, baby.
Not as many games as CPS2, but still good.
PS2 の方が対策多かった気がしますけど、TPS2.
そうですね。少ないけどいいゲーム多い。
Exactly. He agrees with you.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons we call this stream Capcom Play Stream, is because it plays on the old CPS arcade board. So that's why I thought it'd be kind of like cool to like go from CPS3 to Capcom Play Stream.
CPS でカプコンプレイストリームって呼ぶんですけど、まあそれもちろん。
さすがマットさん。
Matt, that's awesome, dude. It's awesome that
Thank you.
You pay attention to that kind of detail.
I love Capcom history. That's why when Itsuno-san came to our signing session in London last year, I got him to sign my Street Fighter Alpha 1 board because it was just awesome. It was awesome. Yeah.
Ah, dude, that was so great. That was so great.
How are you doing there, Mills and Devil Never Cry?
It was great until now. Now we have to fight Arkham, so that's good stuff.
Mel's favourite boss.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
This might be where it ends.
I don't remember this one. You're taking the health down pretty quickly though.
Just to clarify, I'm playing Dante and DNC's playing Virgil.
Okay.
I saw some people asking about that.
Yes. So Matt and Asuna, what do you think of the gameplay we're getting to see from these two at the moment?
You know, I'm sorry. I've been so busy talking that I haven't had a chance to watch it. いつもさ、俺ね、結構ね、話すことに集中しすぎて、まあちゃんとプレイ見てないんですけど、まあ彼たちのプレイどうですかって言われて、吉野さん見てますよ、ちゃんと。
基本的にダメージ食らってないもんね。まあ時々した。
なるほどね。I mean, obviously you guys are doing fantastic. You guys barely hit at all.
It's just all the Royal Guard like parries I keep like seeing, and it's just I wouldn't even attempt that kind of like stuff. You'd have to really know the enemy AI inside out.
I love it. Well, it's just the AI, but there's this reaction timing. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
basically, you remember it in your fingers, don't you?
Yeah.
You know,
That
like,
muscle
okay, I
memory
see
on
you.
point, like finally crafted over like many years of like playing this game.
Exactly. That's so cool.
All right, so another question I wanted to ask you guys about. Devil May Cry 3 was the first one, to my knowledge, that introduced us to turbo mode. So can you ask Itsuna-san, what inspired you and the team to increase the speed of the game, and did you ever consider increasing it even higher than 20%?
ターボモードは
はい。
何の発想からターボモードを作ろうと思ったのかと、あと、まあ、さらに速くしようと思ったことありますか？
なるほどね。ターボモードはね、もともとパル版のパル版って秒間50フレなんだよ。それを NTSC で動かすと
速くなる。
ターボモードのスピードになるの。
はいはいはい
だからパル版はターボモードついてなかったはず。
はい。おー、なるほどね。
そう。だからパル版を NTSC で動かすとちょうど 1.2 倍のスピードになるからターボモードだったんで、あんまりコストかけずにできたからつけた。
なるほど、面白いね。なるほどね。それでね、面白いね。You know, that's a really interesting question. What happens was, you guys are probably aware that we have NTSC and PAL,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Video standards, right? What happens is, if you play the PAL version of Devil May Cry, one of the older games, on NTSC, it's 1.2 times the speed.
Oh, okay.
So what they did was, they basically just took that and they went, okay, we'll take the PAL version and put that in NTSC, and boom, there you go. That's a new mode.
So they turned the quirk into a feature.
Exactly, into a feature, exactly.
I respect that a lot.
あといろいろ試したんだけど 1.2 倍までぐらいだったら同じゲーム性で楽しめるんだけどそれ以上にゲーム性が変わってくるんで 1.2 倍をまあ多分3はもうちょっと速くなるんだよテンションっていうシステムがあってスタイルが高かったらちょっと速くなるもうちょっと速くなるんだけどでも 1.2 倍ぐらいが一番ちょうどいい同じゲーム性できる一番ちょうどいいスピード
And they tried kind of different speeds.
Yeah.
And one thing they found was that basically 1.2 is really just the right modifier where it plays faster, but it doesn't play different.
Okay.
And once it gets too fast, the gameplay itself changes.
Okay.
So that's why they ended up going with 1.2.
今日はテンションでスピードを上げるのをやめたんで、3はテンションでスピードが上がった時は合計でもうちょっと速くなる 1.5 倍ぐらい速くなる。
Well, and so you guys, you're also probably aware that you have tension, right? You have tension in DMC3, and so
Yeah.
1.2 is kind of the base modifier, and then it can get a little faster in DMC3. But in Devil May Cry 4, they kind of scaled it back and said, okay, with tension, the fastest you're going to get is going to be 1.2. あれじゃあ全くね、スト2ターボ関係ないんだよね。
あるけど、スト2ターボって特に家庭用のおまけモードってめちゃくちゃ速いモードだった。
そうありました。
こうやって言うと3D だから本当にスピード上げるとQA が大変なんだよ。
QA 大変ですね。
だからあまり上げれないと思う。
なるほどね。And I'd ask,
当たり抜けすんだよ。
and I'd ask, so it had nothing to do with Street Fighter 2 Turbo, huh? Street,
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo, they had turbo mode, and then buy the console version, really crank up the speed, right? But in 3D, that gets really complex. And what ends up happening, especially in 3D, is you have problems where if it gets too fast,
Yeah.
The way the calculations work is the physics can get messed up. And so you can have, for instance, the player models might end up going through collision meshes that they shouldn't, for instance, because the calculations weren't necessarily created originally to support that.
Yes. Okay.
I'd actually, I don't know if anybody's seen, there's this article online, there's some articles where they talk about the history of Street Fighter. One of the things I'd seen online was that Street Fighter 2 Turbo had come about because there were all these kind of pirated versions of the game that were faster.
Yeah, like Rainbow Edition and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right? And so, and allegedly, the story goes online that Street Fighter, that CUSA said to the people in Japan, hey, look, this makes sense. We should make it faster. It feels slow if you don't.
Yes.
And I had talked to the CEO the other day, and he said, "You know why we made turbo mode, don't you?" And I said, "Oh yeah." And I explained what I heard.
Yeah.
He said, "No. One of the reasons was that by doing that, you can have more players playing in a shorter amount of time."
It makes more business sense, doesn't it? Because then they get through the credits quicker. And then you make the people that have bought the arcade machines are making more money. So I guess that it's a smart business decision.
Interesting, right? It's interesting, right? So just in terms of just kind of like inside baseball there. I don't know. I don't know where the real truth lies.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I'm probably somewhere in the middle. But yeah, I never would have thought that. So that's interesting to hear it. Thank you for sharing that. Can I ask Itsuno-san then what his fondest memory of working on Devil May Cry 3 is?
作って一番ね大切にしてるんだ。
思い出日本ではね、餅は餅屋っていうね、ことわざなんですよ。で、カットシーンをね、作るために初めてハリウッドだし、外国人、こっちが外国人やと思ってる役の人は、ちゃんと外国人の人にモーションし、で、監督さんもちゃんと映画監督、アクション監督さんを用意してやったしっていうところ。専門の場所に専門家を使って作りましょうっていうゲーム作りを初めてゼロからやったのがこのゲームなんで、このゲームから多分ゲーム作りっていう全体のクオリティがグンって上がったんじゃないかなと思って、そういう意味でもすごく僕の中でもそうカプコンでもいいきっかけのゲームだったんじゃないかな。
あれは初めて知りました。そうですね。Well, so in Japanese we have this phrase. It's mochiya wa mochiya.
Okay.
Which translates to, and mochi is basically rice cake. Rice cake, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna make rice cake, make sure that the rice cake maker is the one that makes it.
Okay.
The rice cake maker is gonna be the one that knows how to make the best rice cake. And what that means, and so how does that relate to Devil May Cry 3? Well, Devil May Cry 3 was the first title where Itsuno-san basically took that concept and said, for the cutscenes, we're going to work with actual, honest-to-God, TV and movie, motion capture actors with TV and movie, script writers with TV and movie, directors. So that he worked with Shimomura-san, who was this famous director in Japan. He worked with Ruben for the first time. Ruben had actually been in TV, and he had done all kinds of different stuff in Japan at that point. He said, "All right, I want these guys, these professionals, to make the cutscenes." And so for him, it's really the first time that he got a chance to do that, and he feels that not only did that work out great, but that also helped Capcom to really start taking that style. And sure enough, now, for instance, we work with pros in different fields that up until now, you really wouldn't have seen as much, thanks to that way of thinking. For Devil May Cry 5, we made these costumes, for instance, you know?
Yeah.
And these costumes, we had a literal BBC costume maker work with us. She made the costumes. She handmade all the costumes. We got actual models in Europe to create these costumes for it, have them wear them the costumes, and then scan them.
Right.
And I think because of that, you get a level of quality in those costumes that I haven't seen in any other video game.
Wow. So the director who Itsuno-san worked with to direct all the cutscenes within Devil May Cry 3. What kind of history did they have in terms of TV and cinema? Would they have made anything we might have heard about?
塩監督のもし海外の人が一応してそうな作品があったら教えて。日本で一番
Please.
Guns, man.
Man, this looks tricky.
This is, yeah. Well,
I hate this.
I got faith in you boys. It's all good.
we got it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, I think recently, probably the most. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but there's an anime called Gantz.
Oh yeah, of course. That's the one where they were they die and then they get resurrected in this game. Yes.
Exactly. And so that there was a live action version.
Okay.
So for instance, who directed that?
Okay, so this guy it's not just video, he's done a lot of other things as well. Yeah.
Oh no, totally. I mean, in fact, and in fact, really, Devil May Cry 3 was the first time that he got a chance to work on games.
Oh really? Okay.
So it was a really interesting experience for him as well.
Did he go and work for other video games companies after working with Capcom? Did people see what he'd done for Devil May Cry and think, oh, we need to work with this guy to get our cutscenes looking cinematic and film level?
Yeah,
well, he worked on Devil May Cry 4 after.
Okay.
Worked on Sengoku Basara. And then, he ended up working on... Musou. I'm sorry, Sengoku Musou, my bad. I'm really bad with the Sengoku games, I'm sorry. Sengoku Musou. And then Bayonetta, actually.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, his work clearly speaks for itself. I mean, I do remember playing Devil May Cry 3 back in the day and just all the cutscenes and thinking, wow, this is a hell of a step up to anything I'd seen before it.
Oh, dude, there's no doubt. Watching those cutscenes, stuff like, Dante falling down, the building, and using the mic for cycle chucks.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff,
I would have liked to have seen the classic scene in the first Devil May Cry when Dante gets impaled by the sword and then he kind of stands up again, almost like he's coming from a really low limbo position. That would imagine someone trying to motion capture that. You'd have to have really strong leg muscles to be able to pull that off.
確かに例えばデブル1の時に剣に刺されてそれでダンテがシーンはシウムル監督でバンを見たらすごい面白いかもしれないんですよ。4ではね。出てるよね。Yeah, well, you figure, I mean, there was, they did have a scene similar to that, right? They did a scene, he gets impaled at the beginning of Devil May Cry 4 with Rebellion. I mean, you figure all these guys, they're big fans of Jackie Chan, so that probably also plays into a lot of the cutscenes as well.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so next question for Itsuno-san. When you told the team they'd be working on Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition for the PS2, so following up the original one, what was their reaction?
デブル3を作った後に、デブル3 SE を作ってって言われた時にどう思うの？
その時4を作ってたのね。
なるほどね、もう4に手が来てたんだ。4を作っ
作りながら3作る。
はいはい。
だから
3SE じゃなくて
3SE じゃなくて
3SE を作ってって言われてること。
そうだからもう3終わって4作ってたから作りたかったから作ったんだけど、でも4作りながらだったんで、実はその3スペシャルエディションを作ったコストってほとんど4に回ってる。
なるほどね。
3スペシャルエディションは会社的にはただみたいな感じでできちゃったっていうすごく会社は儲かったと思います。
なるほどね。Well, they were already working on Devil May Cry 4 when the company came to him and said, all right, we want you to make Devil May Cry 3 SPG. So
Oh wow, okay.
he was basically doing both at the same time. And then in addition to that, a little more inside baseball with Capcom here. We have budgets for each of our titles.
Yes, of course.
And basically, the producers in particular, we gotta look at that kind of stuff. So, what they did was basically they attributed most of the cost making Devil May Cry 3 SE to Devil May Cry 4. So, the company perspective, Devil May Cry 3 SE was basically just all profit because they attributed all that cost to Devil May Cry 4.
That's smart. That's smart to see. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Can Itsudo-san remember the first time he ever signed a copy of Devil May Cry 3?
あれでデビルメイクライ3の、をサインしてほしいって言われた時やります、覚えてます？
覚えてないかも。3ってあんまり海外の宣伝行ってないのよ。
なるほどね。
E3 の時に E3 に1回出したぐらいで GDC とかも行ってないの。
そうすると、
だからDMC デビルメイクライの時にサンディエゴコミコンを見た時かもしれない。
なるほどね。でそこまでは、基本的にじゃあ日本
人恥ずかしがり屋だから。
そうですよね。そうするとじゃあデビル3じゃなくて一番最初にゲームをサインしてほしいって別にデビルじゃなくても。
それはね、ジャスティスクルとか。
なるほどね。
サイン会があったね。
サイン会
横須賀の過去のゲームセンター。
なるほどね。
アーケード版のその時に初めて自分サインを作って。
なるほどね。面白いな。なるほどね。He says for Devil May Cry 3, actually, he doesn't really remember, but it probably wasn't until actually they were making DMC Devil May Cry and came to San Diego Comic-Con at that point, the signed game. So I had asked, okay, well, do you remember the first time anybody asked you to sign a game at all? Because in Japan, for the most part, gamers are even if they know who makes the game, they try to be pretty respectful. They don't want to, bother people. So you don't really get that much in Japan. But he says the first time that somebody asked him to sign a game at all was probably for Rival Schools, actually.
Oh, okay.
Rival Schools, when Rival Schools came out, they actually there was a Capcom arcade in Yokosuka where they actually had a signing event. So they went to that, and that was the first time he actually signed a game for somebody.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I got him to sign my copy of Project Justice when he was over here as well. Definitely wasn't leaving that one out. How many copies of Devil May Cry 3 does he think he signed, like, so far in his life? If he had to guess. If he had to guess.
何回言われてることあると思うんですか？
結構サイン会やるとみんな古いゲームに持ってきてその時に結構いっぱいしたんですよね。
So I'm eating chips here. A ton of times, right? Absolutely a ton of times. Inevitably, whenever we do like a signing event or something, I mean, people will always bring the older titles.
Yes.
To actually have him sign them. So Devil May Cry 3 is definitely one of the ones that sure enough, everybody wants him to sign.
We're up against like potentially your favorite boss now, Matt. This is was it Nevin?
There we go. Here's Nevin. Exactly, Nevin, baby.
Will they?
I want you guys to show me how I should fight against them.
Yeah. For me as well, because like I always get hit when she does like the electrifying ground attack. So I'm sure these guys will see it coming a mile off and know how to counter it.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
I don't think you guys have gotten hit yet.
It was the chariot boss was a close call,
Yeah,
but
I
they made it
almost
through.
I was just getting ready for the inevitability of defeat.
Look at this
Nice.
health.
God, you guys are obliterating her. Okay, here we go.
てるからね。
You guys both
I think you just stand on the stairs.
just stand
Nice.
upstairs. Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
Or
go.
just jump, yeah.
What,
Here's the thing,
what
here's the
difficulty
thing.
is the game at this point? Are we still on the normal difficulty, or has it gone up yet?
これ4000回、4500回だ4500回ぐらいだとどのぐらいなんですか？
いやもう、でもちょうど、こうやの以上なんですよね、100回でゴール。
はい。
でこれが多分ちょうどその赤いとこずっと入ってると、なんで多分ちょっと50回とかっていう、ちょっと真ん中ぐらい。
ぐらいですね。Well, this is probably medium or so right now.
Okay, okay. Do you know if anyone's ever done all 9,999 floors back to back without using the 10 or the 100 skip? Did you know if anyone's ever actually attempted that? Because that would take a hell of a long time.
実際にare you talking about doing every single floor?
Every single floor, yeah. I've not heard of anyone doing it.
実際に1回ずつ全部やったことをそういう人は見てことあります？
うちの多分 QA チームではやってると思うんだけど、開発チームでは全部ベタではやってない。
I will tell you this: on the dev team, there's definitely nobody that's ever done that. But in QA,
Yeah,
there's no doubt that somebody did it in QA because we absolutely have to check that kind of thing.
every floor. Yeah.
Somebody in QA played every single floor, guaranteed, back to back.
How long do you reckon it would take to do every floor back to back? How long do you reckon that would take? At this level, with this kind of skill?
いやすごいです。1回ずつやると何時間ぐらいかかる？
いや、めちゃくちゃかかる。
I mean, maybe about 200 hours or something.
They should do it. They should do it. The
so
next
long.
game's done quick. And then it could be like
that'd be
game's done
amazing.
quick, but not so quick.
Oh, I love that. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Did you
It'd be
catch
great to see.
the stream that because the last game's done quick, the big event they did, they had I can't remember the player's name.
DE Cosmo?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Cosmo. Like he played through Devil May Cry 5, and really quick time, and it's the first time I'd ever seen anyone speedrun it. So shout outs to that guy for doing an awesome
I got a chance
showcase.
to see that.
But did you guys see that as well?
I got a chance to see it. I don't
Yeah.
think he hasn't seen many speedrunners actually. How many speedrunners did he know?
Shout outs to Cosmic. Love you, baby.
That guy was awesome. The stuff that he pulls, man.
Because it's such a, like, obviously we get all the combo mad videos of all the really kind of advanced stuff, but it's not like optimized to be quick, it's optimized to be like as cool looking as possible. So I love how there's that kind of like dynamic of like people like doing like the combo showcases, and then they also the other side of the fence where people are just trying to like get through the game as quickly as possible.
So cool. It's such a great dynamic, exactly. It gets both of them, man.
3はそんなに早くスピードアップできないな。開発の終盤って僕らは投資プレイ何回もやらなきゃダメだからスピードランみたいなプレイにはなるんだけど、3はねそんなに早くできなかった。
Maybe you guys actually probably know better than me, but he was saying that for Devil May Cry 3, he doesn't think that you can speedrun it too fast just because back when they were playing the game,
Yeah.
back when they were making the game, whenever we made a game like this, in the end, we ended up having to go through the game multiple times, especially near the end. And
Okay.
he remembers still having to take a decent amount of time to play through the whole game at the end of the game, even though those guys at that point, they've tried to figure out everything they can in terms of, what's the fastest way to get through.
Yeah.
What the world record for a DMC3 is like an hour 20 or something?
Wow. That's like the time it takes me to get to like level 3.
Sorry, say that again. What's the world record?
1 hour and 3 minutes.
1 hour and 3 minutes?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Holy crap.
I wonder if it'll ever go below an hour. I imagine it's probably optimized already, but anything under an hour would be insane.
そのやり方僕らがプレイチェックしてる時に教えてほしかった。
He says, man, I wish we had known back when we were checking the game when we were making it. That would have helped a lot. It would save a lot of time.
I mean, like, if Mills and Devil Never May Cry like finish this and we get right to the end, then we'll have the first world record for the quickest completion time of Bloody Paradise co-op. So if they make it to the end, that can be the starting point for like people wanting to speedrun Bloody Palace co-op.
This is for you, Mom.
もしじゃあこれでクリアしたってじゃあとりあえずこの時点でこのブラディパレスの協力プレイの世界記録は持ってるっていうこと。
あ、いいんじゃない？
ナイス。
We got our hopes resting on you guys. Obviously, I imagine anyone who attempts it will have the full health. We weren't able to unlock the full health, unfortunately, with the time that we had, but we did give you as much Devil Trigger and all the abilities as possible.
Just to confirm, I think Mills said this earlier, but Mills is playing Dante and Devil Never Cry is playing Virgil.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
All right,
yep.
okay.
They discussed it on Twitter before it happened. I saw.
Nice. Of course, both you guys could play both characters if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I've never played as Virgil in this game, so I'm looking forward to playing through the single player as Virgil because I've never attempted it before.
Not very good as him, but I could do it.
Because in the before Special Edition, you could only play as like Virgil in like a few, like few small scenarios, wasn't it? It wasn't like you could play through the whole campaign as him. So that is one of the things they added to Special Edition was to play as Virgil. And these enemies are really annoying. Like I swear I've seen you guys just like waiting for them to kind of appear.
I think you have to turn your back to them before they actually pop up. So.
They're like the ghost enemies in Mario.
Yeah, you may want to grab some health, broski. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
We haven't seen either of them die yet, but I think if one of you does die,
it's coming.
Yeah, then the other player will get resurrected on the next floor. From what I've seen. So it's not like if one player dies and it's over, you're still given a chance. But it becomes a solo effort for the rest of that floor. So Matt, can you tell us like the new weapon switching and style switching? Is that like a radial menu? Can you like hold the button down and use the analog stick to like press it in a direction? Yeah.
Yeah, you got it exactly. So what happens, and so you can see. They'll never cry. Or no, I guess Mills is playing around with it. But what happens is there's kind of two different things you can do. You can keep pressing the button if you want.
Okay.
And that'll just cycle through all the weapons one by one. Or, yeah, if you hold down the button and then use the right stick, as they're showing us right now, you can actually pick very specifically the weapon that you want. Guys, how does that feel to you guys?
I mean, like the radial menu, it's quite hard to use when you're using combos and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good addition for like players who maybe, want to have access to like one weapon at one time, but aren't very good at switching very quickly. I think it's a good choice.
Well, the other thing is, and this is one of the things that the game designers very specifically deal with on all these titles, and in the Devil May Cry 5 layouts as well, was if you have too many weapons in your loadout there. Cycling through all the weapons just with a button press, that can take a while, right? And actually remembering kind of which order it's in and stuff like that. So for Devil May Cry 5, for instance, one of the reasons that they let you choose your loadouts was very specific so that they could go, okay, if a player doesn't want to have to deal with, okay, I have a couple different weapons, I have a couple different melee weapons, I have 3 or 4 different melee weapons, and I don't want to cycle through all of them. Basically, I just want 2, so I know one button press is going to give me this specific weapon. They wanted to give people that option, so that's what they did in DMC5. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, with this style, it could get a little confusing for people if they were cycling through with just the presses. So I think the radial menu is hopefully a decent compromise. We'll see. We'll see how you guys go playing games.
It reminds me of this system from Monster Hunter World. Like you can use the radial menu to quickly switch to the items rather than scrolling through all of them. So like it took me like when I first played Monster Hunter World, I used the old system of like just going cycling through the items. But after a while, I gradually got used to using the radial menu, and in the end, I ended up preferring that just because it was a lot quicker. But it took me like a time to get used to it. So it might be the same with this one. It'll be like a transition period.
Absolutely, same here, man. I was the exact same way with Monster. And yeah, like once I got used to the radial menu, it made so much sense,
Those potions and like the life powders and dust of life and everything, they were coming out straight away, and I could help my team out a lot more easier than when I used to. Yeah.
It's a shame that you can't customize the loadout though. Like DMC5 style, it's like a preset thing.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
I guess if you did get used to the radial menu, then that would be less of an issue. But it depends. Like time will tell to see like if that becomes like preferable or not.
Right.
Okay. So another question for Itsuno. What's the most interesting thing you can tell me about the development of Devil May Cry 3 that no one outside Capcom currently knows? So we're going back into that kind of like, you know, baseball like kind of like strats stuff, you know, that people don't know about. Can you give us like an interesting bit of like insider knowledge?
カプコンの外で知らない情報で、デビルメイクライ3の開発話で一番面白い話がなんかあります？
3? 実は3の開発スタッフって、今まであんまりタイトルに恵まれなかった。
今までっていうのはデビル3の時点だ。
3の前はあんまりヒット作を作ってこなかった僕の友達に、もうその会社辞めようかなって言ってる奴らがいっぱいいてたんで、じゃあもう辞めてもいいけど、次めちゃくちゃ面白いゲーム作るから、君の履歴書の最後にデビルメイクライ3っていうヒット作書いてから辞めたらどうって言って、腕はいいけどヒット作に恵まれなかったメンバーを掛け
面白い。Well, here, let me tell you this. When making Devil May Cry 3, Izuno-san had a couple different friends within the company. They were amazing. They were amazing at what they did, but for some reason, they couldn't make a hit to save their lives. And so they thought, all right, there were a couple of these guys were like, you know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe we should just quit. So he said, all right, look. You can quit, but first let's do this. I'm going to make Devil May Cry 3. We're going to make it as good as we possibly can. Let's make this game so that you can put on your resume that we worked on Devil May Cry 3. And with any luck, it'll be so amazing that by the time you quit, you'll have something on your resume that's really going to stand.
Okay.
And here you have it.
Did most of those guys end up staying at the company then after like Devil May Cry? Did some of them leave, but they were taken onto other companies because of how good this game was?
その方々は結局辞めたんですか？
辞めた人もいる。
Well, some of them did eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, now what boss are we on now? Is this Virgil?
Yep, and I'm gonna die. Here it comes.
Oh no.
Alright. This looks tough, man. This is Form 1, is it?
Yeah.
This is Form 1, okay. But obviously Virgil, doesn't matter which form it is, it's still going to be tough.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There I go. Oh wait, no, I'm dead. No, I'm good.
That magic pixel.
Here you go. Look, I'm gonna bring it back.
Oh, this is tense.
No.
It's alright, it's alright.
Oh, 初めて死んだ。
Virgil strats against Virgil.
Oh, don't do it, DNC. Just play it safe.
Yeah, go for whatever works. I really want you guys to do this.
頑張れバージル。
You can do it! You can do it! Come on, Virgil!
Activate instant kill. Go.
やばいよ結構。
Oh man!
Oh, okay.
What's gonna happen?
I only understand a little bit of what's going on here.
Better get ready, because I'm gonna kiss you if you do this.
Okay.
Oh! Okay, it's looking good, it's looking good! Don't want to jinx it. I'm gonna shut up.
Okay.
The boy!
Yes! Nicely done.
Just about got it.
I don't know how much health you get back when you go to the next level. So I don't know, like, if Mills is going to come back with full health or just a little bit.
God, I hope
Guess
so.
we'll find out. Ooh,
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'd be well happy with that.
Oh wow, yeah. Wow, ooh, wow. We got another
God.
mini boss.
That's the second heart skip moment of the stream. The first one was the chariot boss, but they've made it past Virgil 1. Does this mean that the difficulty's gone up yet, or are we still on normal?
I think it does,
It's
yeah.
gone up, yeah.
Okay, it's gone up. Teamwork makes the dream work. Man, look at that damage!
Oh,
Look at that! You got to save him! Alright, this is another boss after back to back. That's really mean. Itsuno-san putting bosses back to back is really mean.
バージの後にさらにボスして
ひどいね、これはひどい。
I'm sorry.
play it safe, my man.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the speedrun. We want that can be broken. We're not going for the optimal strategy.
Yeah, we can get like 10 hours, we'll still be first. Oh no, please. No.
Exactly. Oh my god, okay. I've still got more questions to ask. You need to stay alive.
Just play it safe.
Fire away.
DMC2 edition. Here we go.
Matt, we need to turn power kill back on. No, definitely not. I'm only kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
大丈夫か
You can do it. You can do it.
spam that.
I really hope there's not
button.
another boss after this, like straight away. That would be rough.
Tap that button, DNC.
Nice.
This is the Devil May Cry 2 tactic.
yeah. Some elite DMC2 tech.
本当だわ。あー、本当だね。
Good dodging.
I don't think we've got enough time in the stream to do this. So we just.
Oh, nicely done. Okay, well done. Bravo.
Right.
Bravo.
You better believe we're going through that water portal. Yeah, you go for it first.
Who's gonna take?
Did you get more health? There's only one green.
One green.
I think at the end.
That's
there might be.
stingy.
Yeah, that's well stingy.
Where's
but
the other green? There's 2 players.
I stole it from him. Yeah.
Well, look, there's a balance you gotta take, man. そう言ってますけど、バランス取らないとね。
Okay, so continuing on with the questions then. So another one for Atsuno-san. For the North American release of Devil May Cry 3, the Japanese hard mode was made the normal mode. What was the thinking behind this?
はいはいはい。
僕の今はね、ジャパンのね、ハードモードが普通のノーマルになって、
そうね
その理由は教えていただけますかと。
当時カリフォルニア州の法律で30日以内だったら返品できる制度があったのね、今もあると思うんだけど、だからね、当時アメリカではね、新品ゲーム出したらすぐクリアして返品する人が多かった。だからアメリカで出すやつは難しくしてくれっていうオーダーがアメリカから来て、 OK だったら日本で作るハードモードをアメリカのノーマルモードを作るよって言って作ったら難しいってめっちゃ言われたから、スペシャルエディションからは日本と同じ難易度にしたらこれでいいんだよって言われたね。
Well, what happened was back then, I think there's still this rule now, but basically, in California in particular, you were able to return your games within 30 days.
Okay.
And so the people in the U.S. said, look, you got to make the game hard. Return the game. They don't beat the game within 30 days. So they said, all right, well, fuck. What we'll do is we'll make the Japanese hard mode, the normal mode in America. And okay, so
That was the reasoning, just so that people wouldn't like finish it and return it quickly.
Yep. And so they did that, and then of course everybody said it was too hard. So for 3SE, they made it right again. They basically did what they did for Japan, and everybody said, okay, this is what it should.
I never would have guessed that. So yeah, thank you for that insider knowledge. Yeah. Okay. And then on to the next question. Okay, yeah, I like this one. Were you ever tempted to include some rival schools costumes in Devil May Cry 3? And I'm asking this because I think Lady could pull off an awesome Akira.
Oh, baby, I know, right? はい、ちょっともうとしてるけど、デビル3にジャスティス学園のコスチューム入れようと思ってくださいます。まあ、なぜかというと、レイディは絶対にアキラのコスチュームは着こなせるなと。
なるほどね。そう今思えばやればよかったですね。
ね、そうですね。He says, man, now that I think I've done that, sweet.
Yeah,
I
because
can tell you, I
like
would
motorbikes,
love
isn't it? They both got like awesome like motorbikes. I think that would be really cool.
確かにね、レイディもね。
レディはサクラのコスチュームも似合いそうだね。
He says, but Sakura's costume would also be great on Lady too.
Yeah, that would work as well.
確かにね。
Got those green orbs, that health. Fully stocked now. This is looking good.
Nice.
What floor are we on? We're over the halfway point, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where it starts getting tasty.
Yeah, this is where
Yeah.
it starts.
Yeah. The tutorial's over. This is where the real game begins.
I mean, I've already died, so at this point, there's nothing to lose. Yeah.
It only counts if you both die.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
don't have to worry about that.
Virgil free, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, you know, fitting in.
Okay, so next question then. The Onimusha and the Devil May Cry PS2 trilogies were developed around the same time. Did the teams working on these series have much of a rivalry because of how similar the games kind of were?
デビルとほぼ同じ時期に鬼武者一撃さんをね、作ってましたけど、そのチーム、鬼武者チーム、デビルチームはなんかライブとか通して考えたりしてた。
全然なかったです。
なるほどね。全く関係ない。
そうですね。鬼武者チームは、そうですね。鬼武者で2は、江代さんだからね。
え、しろさん。なるほどね。はい。
仲良しだったけど、
Yeah.
ライバルとかじゃなかったですね。
Yeah, they weren't particular rivals or anything. You figure, I mean, okay, Devil May Cry, first Kamiya-san, and then San and those guys. Onimusha that was Inafune-san, that was Takeuchi-san.
Yeah.
That was, for instance, Devil May Cry, Onimusha 2, I think the director of Onimusha 2 was Eshiro-san. Eshiro-san, who was a programmer on the original Street Fighter 2.
Oh, okay.
He programmed like Guile, for instance.
Right.
DMC Devil May Cry のプロデュース。
And he was also, and Eshiro-san was also the producer on DMC Devil May Cry, for those of you guys who...
Oh, okay.
So he's a pretty cool guy. So yeah, I mean, you know, he was kind of friends with Eshiro-san, but yeah, there certainly wasn't like a rival or anything between Onimusha and Devil May Cry.
Okay. I don't remember this one. Matt, you know, what boss is this? I can't remember.
リヴァイアさん。リヴァイアさんの心臓ハート。
Sorry, I forget the English.
Leviathan Heart?
I forget the English.
Yeah, Mission 8. Oh, here we go with this.
But this is another boss that I used to always have a ton of trouble on.
Oh my god, that health.
That's just draining away. If you kill the middle one, they both die?
Yeah.
Ah, sweet. The speedrun strat.
Yep.
You're almost there. Yeah, you're almost there. He's got to beat the middle.
Ah, okay. You got to take one down and then it opens up.
Yeah. I think you can just shoot the thing in the middle. That would just
Oh, there's so much damage. Well, I get it.
I could jump! Aye!
めちゃくちゃ難しくなる。
Ah, you got it. Nice, nice, nice.
Oh, you did it. Oh, thank God.
The jump button broke.
Does each boss only appear once in Bloody Palace? Or can you fight the same boss multiple times?
Kaku boss wa 1回しか出ない。
と思います。
Yeah, pretty sure that's the case.
Okay.
We're pretty sure that's the case.
そうそうそうそう。これからね。
So he's trying to-
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past you guys to like, you know, make you have to fight like every boss back to back at the end or something like that.
Please don't do this.
No.
例えば一番最後に全ボスをみんな1回ずつさらに出したりするわけじゃない。
そうね、だって1万ステージあるから。
Mills, you're looking a little low on
そういう
health
風に
there.
作ったんだけど。
Yeah, I'm letting my homie take point.
Okay.
Oh, get rid of these boys. You,
Yeah, you figure there's 10,000 stages. In
So
Bloody
many.
nice.
Can we
Like someone had to
There's a lot of
program
stages.
each one.
Somebody had to program も企画もね、全部やらないといけない人
I feel sorry for whoever had to do that.
すごいね。
先ほどリヴァイアさんあったでしょ。
はいはいはい。
リヴァイアさんってクジラみたいにね、空を飛ぶ。
はいはい。
さっき冗談でリヴァイアさんの最後のボスはピノッキオみたいにしようかっていう話をしたことがあるよ。
おー、なるほどね。
クジラの中にいたでしょ。
はいはいはい。
ピノッキオ
そうですね。
鼻の長いボスにしようかっていう話もあったけど、まあまあや。
So, for instance, you guys just fought against the Leviathan heart, right? Well, one of the things they thought about when they were developing the game was, you know, Pinocchio, there's the scene where they're inside of a giant whale, right?
Yeah.
So the Leviathan fight is kind of like that. At one point they thought, well, what if the boss is fighting against like a demonic Pinocchio, essentially? Something like
I can see the thought process there.
A puppet with a nose that grows.
Yeah.
I thought about that, and then I guess they ended up going with the heart. Hikuja syndrome.
やばそうだったから。
Yeah, I figured, yeah, we might get sued for that. So let's not do that. We'll do the heart instead. まあでもある程度ね、まあそのほら3点攻撃するっていう、それもしかするとするかもしれない。
Can you tell us about any kind of like boss concept you came up with during development that maybe didn't make the final cut?
WC なんかボスのボスコンセプトなんかあります？それは確かに。
いやーいっぱいあったけど。
He says there were a bunch, but I can't remember any of them.
I know we're talking a long time ago, so yeah. Or were there any kind of like other fighting styles or weapons or anything like that that you maybe like trialed at one point and thought, oh, this doesn't work, and then just put it over, took them out?
ボツだからボツスタイルとか、武器で言えばね。
本当ね、確かにね、レディの乗ってたオートバイは武器にしようと思って途中まで本当にロープしたんだけど、ボツだったし、あとあれ、そうかな、それぐらいかな。
I heard the word lady at the start of that, so I'm already interested.
Yeah. So for actually, we may have mentioned this on one of Devil May Cry 5 streams, but actually it was during Devil May Cry 3's development of a motorcycle, and so the idea was to take Lady's motorcycle and actually make that a weapon. And they started to do that. And you can kind of see the remnants of that idea in the cutscene.
Yes. Yeah.
Where in the cutscene, as he's falling down the tower, he's using the motorcycle as these nunchucks. That's something that they wanted to do in the game, and they ended up kind of not having enough time to do it. So finally, for Devil May Cry 5, when we came back to going, okay, what weapons are we going to add this time? One of the first things they said was, all right, we're going to do the motorcycle this time. Now, how do we do that? And we had a guy, one of our kind of lead animators, is named Nara-san.
Yeah.
He drew a picture of Dante holding the two parts of the motorcycle. And right then we go, this is it. This is the motorcycle weapon.
That person is automatically one of my favorite people on the Devil May Cry team just for that, because Cerberus was just that's just too cool.
ね、かっこよかったね。もともとさ、デビルメイクライシリーズって男の子の憧れを武器にする。なんか本当は2のオートバイを体に装着してオートバイマジックになるって言ってたがあったの。
なるほどね。
できなくて、だから3ではもっと出そうっつってレイドを出したんだけど、それもできなくて、やっと5出てきた。
そうですね。And actually, it goes up. This particular motorcycle actually goes up Devil May Cry because, for Devil May Cry 2, you have Dante gets on the motorcycle at the end, right?
Yeah.
The idea was what they really wanted to do was kind of have a special motorcycle version, Majin, motorcycle devil trigger, where basically he puts the motorcycle on his back and then he becomes devil. With the devil trigger.
It sounds like a transformer. Is he going to morph into like a motorcycle or something like that?
He's going to use that as the devil trigger. And so that's one idea they had for Devil May Cry 2. They didn't get a chance to do that. So for Devil May Cry 3, they said, okay, it's going to be a weapon.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't get a chance to do that. So finally, it was in Devil May Cry 5 where they got a chance to utilize the motorcycle. But really, I mean, the thing is that for these weapons, whenever they come up with these weapons in Devil May Cry, one of the things they always try to do is go, okay, what is something that like a teenage boy thinks is cool? Because let's take that, whatever a teenage boy thinks is cool, that's what we're going to make as the weapon.
Yeah.
And so that's what, like for instance, that's where Nevin comes from. That's where the guitar comes from.
Yeah, a demon guitar.
Guitars are cool.
Yeah. I really love how like you get these kind of like ideas in like the earlier games, and you're not able to necessarily implement them like in the early games, but then they're still on the cutting room floor, and then you'll like bring them back for like future like titles in the series.
Exactly.
Like I love how like a good idea, is always a good idea, but maybe not the best time to make it into reality. But as we saw in Devil May Cry 5, that was the perfect time to do it, and it just worked out perfectly.
Exactly. And so the one that they've had an idea for a long time, they've never been able to get right, is a saxophone. So the saxophone is one that they want to make a weapon, but they haven't. So who knows? Maybe someday.
A saxophone. Okay, yeah, that would be amazing. I'm trying to think of even what it would be called. You'd have to have jazz somewhere in the title. Jazz something.
Yep. Jazz
I'm thinking like jazz rapier.
Jazz rapier. So you can go.
Awesome. Okay, and then this is a question for Itsuno-san, but including Matt this time. So, for Itsuno-san, if Matt Walker had been working for Capcom during the development of Devil May Cry 3, do you think the game would have turned out any differently?
もし俺がデビルメイクライ3の開発段階で俺が変えてれば、それで何か変わったので多分ね、何も変わってない。もしね、俺が2005年に過去に行くとしても、多分僕らに
だからあれじゃない？モーションキャプチャーを、アーカムの変身した方のモーションキャプチャーは、
He says, yeah, I think what would happen is Matt would have been the gesture motion capture in Devil May Cry 3. I can see that. I can see that.
Because you've already got like got a mocapping for like Resident Evil 2 and other games. You've got like a portfolio based on just that like skill alone now.
I've been scanned anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, hey.
Wow.
Here we go with the round 2.
Yep, that's right. So, by all means, anybody that hates my guts, feel free to pick up Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3, where you'll be able to find the Matt Zombie model and you can shoot it in the head as many times as you like.
Oh, okay.
Ideally,
you're in the sequel as well. Okay, they've kept the zombie model.
Yeah, there's a couple screenshots. Matt Zombie is shown.
This is the second form of Virgil now. So what is different with this form of Virgil compared to the first one?
Big old double trigger.
デビルトリガーも使うし、ベオウルフ使ってくるから。
Well, yeah, and so it uses the Devil Trigger and Beowulf, right, in this fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it tougher than the first one?
Yeah, he does a lot more damage too.
Okay. So does it literally scale like the first one's the easiest and the third one's the toughest? Is that how it works? Okay. Yeah. How it should work. I'm just checking to make sure there's not like an easy strat for the third one or something like that.
I think this is it, homie. I think we're getting bodied.
Okay, you guys can do it.
Come
you
on.
guys can do it.
I've only got one question left, so if he did happen to buy it on this one, yeah.
It's all up to you now, Mills.
Come on, Mills!
Oh. Come on, come and get it.
And to be fair to these guys, remember they did not have full health. No, he's got a magic pixel. Yeah.
Trickster all day.
He's not messing around. Now he recovers. Okay. You're gonna try and time him out. No! What floor was that?
Over.
What's floor? Can we see the results screen? Because that was still like really far. That was hell of a far.
Oh man, that was.
You were in the 7,000s. That was an hour and 14 minutes. So.
Oh baby. So it turns.
Respect.
Not see the first co-op clear before the game comes out. Well, that's kind of a relief.
あれ、二人でやってもこんな難しかったっけ？
この二人のプロ。
こんなだってめちゃくちゃうまい二人なのにね。
Man, you guys are both pros. Still couldn't be together. What does that say about this mode?
I mean,
it's not a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk, is what I'm saying. You will have to put the time in and kind of like learn it a bit more. I mean, that was still damn close. So I'm impressed that you made it to the start of like 7,000. I did actually have one more question that's kind of like fitting at this point. So it's Suno-san and Matt Walker. Out of everyone you know, who would you most want to help you get to the last floor in Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition Bloody Palace Co-op? Who would you most want to help you get to the last floor?
協力プレイでブラディパレスを遊んだ場合は、誰と一緒に遊んでできるだけそのをクリアしたいと思うんですか？
僕が？じゃあ
I don't think it's you, Matt. I don't think it's you.
参考だってやつがいいんだけど、あいつとプレイしたいな。
いいとこですね。いいですね。There's a guy that.
まあ V 作ったやつ。
そうですね。There's a guy the guy that we were talking about earlier that worked on V.
Okay.
He's basically the player game designer guy since DM3. He'd love to play with that guy.
Okay.
I think that'd be great.
Would that be a guaranteed to the last floor? Do you think?
彼と一緒に遊んだら絶対にじゃあ最後。
もし負けてもそいつのせいにできる。
He says, well,
お前が下手くそだから。
either way, the nice thing that blame it on him for not winning. So,
and the same question to you, Matt. Who would you want? Is this the same person, or would you have someone else?
I think what I would do is I'd go, okay, Mills Devil May Cry. We would sit down and I'd play with one of them and then die right away, and the other one would carry me through as much as possible. Yeah. And then if we didn't win, then we'd go the other way. And we'd see if we could go through. And then if I was just too much of a handicap, then we'd have those two guys play again.
Yeah, for me, it would be either Mills or Devil Never Cry. After they've played the game for a day, like the Switch version, and gotten used to obviously using the Switch Pro controller, which they're not as used to as well. So that's like something they're just trying to familiarize themselves with. Now, I'd have either of these two helping me out. But if we just go back to Devil Never Cry and Mills a minute, not to the gameplay, but just to them. If you guys can pause it a sec. All right, yeah. So thank you very much for joining us for the stream today. Like, I really appreciate you guys coming down and show us some awesome gameplay there. Have you got any other like shout-outs you want to do before we close the stream?
No.
No. You see the Twitter handles there. These guys, like, these are the combo mad masters of like Devil May Cry. So definitely check out both their Twitter handles. You know, see them on Twitch, see them on YouTube, and definitely check out their stuff. All right, if we go back to it's Suno and Matt. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us for the stream today.
磯野さん、なんか最後に何かあります？
いや、よくできてるからみんなスイッチ版買った方がいいよ。
Well, Itsuno-san says, look, I think we've done a great job on the Switch version, so hopefully you guys try and play it. And yeah, I just want to say I really want to thank everybody for paying attention and everything I've seen in terms of a response to all the PR that we've done for this. It was our buddies at CUSA, Roland in particular, said, look, I think that we should announce all these things separately because I think fans are really going to enjoy that. And so we had kind of a lot of internal discussions, and there were some people that were like, look, let's just kind of all announce it all at once to get out of the way. And he said, no, I think this will be a fun thing for people. So I think it's really a credit to him that and all the guys at CUSA that said, let's do this, because I have only seen positivity and a bunch of happy as we've announced this. And I am really, really happy to see, not only that, but I'm happy to see everybody enjoying it, you know?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to actually have, you know, we've had two that made Cry, Devil Never Cry, actually get a chance to play the game, play with freestyle mode. I can't wait to have the rest of the players get a chance to play it. And I really hope that you guys enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
And if you do, it'll be great to see those responses online.
Yeah. The release date is February 20th?
20th, baby. That's right. We got 1 week.
Just one more week to go. Yeah, I'm really looking forward.
Less than a week, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to people like, you know, streaming this mode and like coming out with like new like strategies and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hopefully going to play a bit more myself. I'm looking forward to finally getting the opportunity to play through Virgil's single player campaign as well, which I never did in the past. So I'm very much looking forward to getting this opportunity and playing it on the Switch with a pro controller as well. So it's going to be good fun.
But that, good, man. So I mean, yeah. Look, happy Valentine's Day, baby.
Oh yeah, good point. Oh, Valentine's Day. Yeah.
We hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day. We love you guys all everybody. All right. Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone for tuning in today for the stream showcase. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you to Devil Never Cry, Mills, Itsuno-san, and Matt Walker for also joining me here for the stream today. Please go out and buy Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition on the Switch on February 20th because it's going to be awesome. But that's all we got time today, guys. Catch you next time.